Introverts, how did you meet your girlfriend? When I was like 14, I was incredibly shy and introverted but did like to make jokes and such. Met this girl as she was a friend of a friend and we became good mates and started hanging out quite a lot, and I was just like, oh yeah, sweet, a new friend, didn't even process the whole romance thing ever. Then one time when we were 15, so been friends for a while, we were chilling under a blanket, still me not processing anything, and she leaned in and kissed me. Now we're 20 and madly in love, and I've totally come out of my shell. I'm super extroverted and annoy all my friends. Life is good. Still wonder what would have happened if she didn't make the first move. Was a freshman in college when I saw her from across the hall. I was too shy to talk to her. I noticed it was commonplace to hand out survey questionnaires for course subjects, something that was new to me as I came from a technical high school. I got in a liberal arts/humanities college. I made up my own survey questionnaire with silly nonsensical questions trying to be funny. I worked up the nerve to ask her to answer the survey, and printed out extra copies to give to her friends as well. She's usually with her group of friends. The final question of the questionnaire was, do you find me attractive? She answered yes and left her number. Took me almost a week to work up the nerve/courage to text her. Edit, been with her for the past 10 years. In the smoking area of a club on my 19th birthday. One of my friends knew one of hers and they were chatting. She asked to use my lighter. I just handed it to her and said nothing. Then a Two Door Cinema Club song came on and started bobbing my head away, and she said she loved Two Door Cinema Club and was going to Reading Festival next week to see them. I was going too, so we spoke about that and both group of friends hung out that night. We then shared a taxi back and I said, I doubt we will ever see each other again, unless we bump into each other at the festival. We bumped into each other at the festival, amongst thousands of people. Then hung out the whole time, had our first dance and kissed at Two Door Cinema Club. 6.5 years later and we get the keys to our first house tomorrow. Nice try, mom. Insert obligatory still waiting for that to happen comment here. We had been part of the same campus ministry for a few months. She was a freshman, I was a junior, and she had joined the leadership team, which I was the co-president of, in the spring. I always thought she was way out of my league, super pretty and extroverted, and she didn't seem like someone who was into a quieter, more nerdy guy. We both went on the spring break mission trip and were assigned to the same work group. We talked a bit there. One of the days I was assigned to teach her the proper painting technique for the place we were painting. That was quite nice. Smile, but talked quite a bit in our downtime each night. It started out as being part of the same group of people hanging out, but as people left and went to bed, she and I kept talking. It was so natural. When we got back to college, we kept talking via Snapchat and texting, and we haven't stopped since. We started officially dating about a month and a half after we got back, and celebrated our first anniversary on April 30th. Smile. My friend had a crush on the singer of a local band, so we went out to the show. The bassist is this tall, lanky, adorably awkward hipster. In the middle of the set his amp starts shorting out and then quits playing altogether. As the rest of his band continues to play, he rests his bass on the amp, rolls up the chords, and stands awkwardly on stage smoking a cigarette. It was so cute and awkward that I was smitten, so after the show I gave him my number and told him that next time he had a show in the area he could borrow my amp. The rest is history. I played Mario Kart with her while her BF at the time was playing Smash Brothers with everyone else at a video game meetup. Fast forward 3 years to today and we are getting married Sunday. Like the other 10,000 comments, I said a couple words and she started talking for an hour. I really don't like people, but getting girls isn't hard. Just listen, or pretend to listen, then wait till they finish, and ask what you want to ask. Grow a bear. Girls love introverts as long as you're still confident. Bumble. I figured, why should I continue doing the legwork when I can make her do it? One of those dating apps. Saw her picture come up once while I was going to see some friends. I certainly found her attractive, but skipped over as I thought she was way out of my league. I had some limited success with the app, and was trying to not get ahead of myself. A few weeks later, I'm on the train again heading to my friend's and her picture popped up again. I mean, I still thought she looked pretty neat, and if she showed a second time, why not? I hit the little heart icon or whatever and she messaged back. We met up at a cat cafe after a brief chat on the app, and I ended the date early with an asthma attack. Later on, learned I'm really allergic to cats. We moved in together earlier this year. We went to school together. Weren't really friends because she was new at school and in another class, but she was friends with a friend's girlfriend. I was then invited to the dark eye pen and paper RPG sessions by my friend. Quickly became friends with her, but she was in a relationship. Once she broke up with her then boyfriend, I started to realize I had feelings for her. We started to Skype all day after school, and after 2 weeks I confessed my feelings for her. We're now together for 7 years. We were sat on the same sofa at a friend's gathering and neither of us spoke to each other for about an hour and a half. So this will be my first proper comment ever, but I felt I just had to share as this is a story that means a lot to me. I came home from playing football after work one evening, and heard some people around the back having drinks, talking etc. I was renting a family-owned house with my sister and her boyfriend at the time, and we were subletting the cottage behind it, so I figured it was probably them and our tenants having some after-work drinks. I remember walking to my room, and starting to change out of my sports clothes. I was pretty set on just having a shower, getting comfortable, starting up my computer and playing some Dota 2 or something. Can't remember exactly what game I was overly fixated on at the time. Anyway, mid-change I think to myself, bruh, I know you just want to play games and not have to deal with another social situation, especially when these people have probably already had a few drinks and you're stone sober, but if you keep playing games all the time instead of putting yourself out there, you're never going to meet someone. So just do it, you dingus. Not that I thought there was any way this would lead to me meeting a girl, but it was more about the principle. Long story short, as a result of a split-second decision, I went out back and saw there was another girl with them all that I hadn't met yet, a friend of the tenants staying in the cottage. We struck up a conversation, and besides the fact that she was a couple years older than me and really pretty, it went really well. As of today we've been dating for 21 months. By far the longest relationship I've ever had, and not to sound dramatic, but she truly has changed my life for the better. I couldn't be happier. TLDR, split-second decisions can make a big difference. Sometimes it's important to make yourself do the less comfortable thing, even when you think it won't matter. Set up a Tinder because I felt like doing something aside from just sitting around feeling sorry for myself. I felt a little silly, so I selected a picture from Halloween the year before as my profile picture. I was a Roman centurion. Pretty goddamn nerdy. She texted me on Tinder. Thought I was hilarious. She was also a classics major and thought my costume was the tits. We've been together for a year and a half and I'm sure that I'm gonna marry her one day. A friend brought her home for breakfast. I never stay on the table after eating, but excuse myself and bolt to my room. Well, that day I stayed almost 3 hours. Some weeks later my friend, drunk as hell, tells me to add her on FB because she liked me. It's been 4 awesome years now. A mutual friend. He knew we liked each other, but he also knew we're both introverts and would never act on anything, so he made it his life's mission to force us to talk. Late addition, but I was on a TV quiz show to possibly earn some cash. I didn't win any money, but the day after it aired I got a friend request from this girl. I thought it was unrelated, and only a month or so later she admitted that she and her friend got tipsy while watching TV and she saw me there. She thought I was cute and just drunk enough to act on it. I was dumb enough to say my full name on TV, so I was easy to track. We've been together for 19 months today, and it's the happiest I've even been. I met her on a sandbar in the middle of a lake when I almost ran her over in a jet ski. Offered her a beer and a ride back. That was 11 years ago. Only we both were traveling in a bus once and she liked my introvert nature. She talked to me and we became friends. We had several mutual friends, and one of my friends was her roommate for about a year. That meant I ended up seeing her a good deal. Eventually we talked more and developed feelings. Going on 5 years together now and taking a road trip together soon. Back in high school, we both worked in the library. I had a lot of tough classes and did research at the local university, so I did not have any free time that semester. I was so overwhelmed that I prayed something along the lines of, God, I have so much to do and no time to pursue a relationship. If there's someone I am supposed to be with, then just make it obvious, like have her tackle me or something. So first day back from winter break, I am shelving media in the library and I glance up and see my co-worker at the door. I wave and go back to shelving and then wham, I'm on the floor looking up at her laughing face. She apparently thought it would be funny to hug me while I was obliviously putting stuff away. Later found out that she'd broken up with her boyfriend over the break. We started hanging out more, and eventually started dating. We've been married for 12 years now.